My name is Shannon Marie Kearns. I am a history undergraduate student from the UK and I'm here on an international exchange student opportunity. This is my presentation about America and Brexit, the effects, for Dr. Ding's Introduction to International Relations class. This subject is of particular interest for me as I am from the UK and I'm aware of the impact of Brexit for people within the UK as well as some countries in Europe. While studying here, I wondered the effects of Brexit on people of this country and what it means for the international relations. What is Brexit? Brexit is essentially the UK's divorce from the European Union, which they have been a part of since 1969. It is set to occur at 11 p.m. GMT on March 29, 2019. This is the result of the 2016 referendum campaign. The referendum campaign was led by the Conservative Party and resulted in the resignation of Prime Minister David Cameron. The results of the referendum was only 1.9% difference between the Leave and the Remain parties. However, why did people vote to leave the EU? Many called for greater control over the flow of people from the EU into the UK. This essentially asked for less immigration. Others called for the UK to become a sovereign nation once again. Some people described the referendum itself as a protest vote. Although a vast number of people voted leave, many of them were shocked when they woke up to realise that we were indeed leaving the EU. A very large deciding factor, however, was the amount of money that the UK pays to the EU each year for its membership fee. In 2016, this totaled to £13.1 billion or $16.9 billion. Touching on my previous point, during the referendum, the chair of the vote leave, Gisela Stewart, claimed for every £2 we send to Brussels, we get £1 back, and it comes back with a tag on it on what we have to spend it on. In the eyes of many people of the nation, they saw this as being unnecessary money spent that could have been used for other resources within the UK. What does this mean for those within the EU and Britain? There will now be limited EU immigration into Britain and vice versa. The UK withdrawal from the European Court of Judgment. A customs union may arise. This affects imports and exports between Britain and EU countries. A cash settlement must be paid, which will be between 40 billion to 55 billion euros to the EU. Work visas will now be required for Britons to work within the EU and for members of EU countries to work within the UK. There is currently great uncertainty of what will become of the Irish border. It is not yet known if it will be a soft Brexit or a hard Brexit, which reflects on the outcome of what the Irish border will be. How does Brexit affect America? After the referendum in 2016, the currency markets for the euro fell by 2% to $1.11. This had an effect on the US stock market and foreign investment, as people within the EU found it more expensive to invest in US stock or make foreign investment payments to this country. Gold prices rose by 6% from $1,255 to $1,330, making gold more expensive for people to buy. Free trade with EU nations will now cease, as US businesses that operate within the UK to take advantage of this free trade will no longer be able to do so. This means they may have to relocate to other EU locations. There will be an impact on US-British jobs, which is estimated to be 2 million. Retired General Wesley Clark and former NATO commander said Britain is a window into the European Union. Unofficially, the UK may sometimes have informed the US on ongoings within the EU. After the UK leaves the EU, this will no longer be able to occur. However, the majority of the points that I've just touched upon have been negative. For consumers within America, they will now be able to have cheaper imported goods from Britain. This includes items such as Twinings tea, or the clothing brand Burberry. As their currency is now stronger, people travelling to the UK from America will find it cheaper, as they can now get more pounds for their dollar. And lastly, there is talks of a new trade deal between Theresa May and President Trump. There has been a lot of debate over the pros and cons of Brexit. We really won't know how the EU, the UK, or America are affected by Brexit until March 29th, 2019, when the finalised Brexit plans have been formed. Thank you for listening to my presentation, and I hope you have got a greater understanding of what Brexit is.